Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show my people. Belize our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feeling about is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that must be happen and I got blue skies. I know we make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feeling
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for Tuesday, the 25th of February 2025. We hope your morning is beautiful, your health is great, your energy is high, your vibration is positive, and that you've got a little room and flexibility that you're not only present, but you are getting ready to participate in this great morning conversation that we call the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm Mose. I'm hosting today. And we want to welcome everybody. You're to listen. We're glad you watch. Listen to Creme Radio. You're watching XTV. You're getting us on our apps. We hope you do have those downloaded to your respective devices, or you're getting us via social media streams. We've got you via simulcast as well, so it's great that you're here with us to start the day. We will get to the big conversation. But before we do, we've got your warm-ups, and so we've got a bit of news for you from our news team. We lead off though with the weather forecast info from the National Meteorological Service, and the Met forecaster this morning is Catherine Kamabach. That's where we start.
Good morning, Belize. Generally fair weather prevails. The 24-hour forecast coastal waters calls for sunny skies today with a few cloudy spells, and high temperatures today are expected to reach 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, to 88 inland, and 74 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be clear to partly cloudy with low temperatures of 75 along coastal areas, 67 inland, and 62 in the higher elevation. Showers, if any, will be isolated and develop offshore and along the south coast. The winds will blow from the northwest at 10 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be choppy. A high tide will occur at 9 a.m. this morning, followed by a low at 1:51 in the afternoon. Another high will occur at 8:30 tonight and a low at 3:30 tomorrow morning. The sun will rise at 30 minutes past 6 this morning and set at 5:58. The moon set at 3:50 this afternoon and comes up at 14 minutes past 5. The outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night is for generally fair conditions to prevail with little to no rainfall. In the sarcasm forecast, latest satellite imagery and surface observations continue to show sarcasm increasing over our area. Moderate impacts are expected for the next few days. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And the news. Belize police continue their investigation into the tragic deaths of 3 young U.S. tourists, all in their 20s, vacationing in Ambergris Key, Belize. They had checked into a luxury resort on Wednesday, February 19th, and were scheduled to leave on Sunday, February 23rd. The Commissioner of Police on Monday reported that vomit was observed near all 3 women. He also shared that they were unable to definitively pinpoint the cause of death at this time until a post-mortem, including a toxicology screen, is completed.
The police did a thorough search of the scene along with the pathologists and scenes of crime, and there was nothing of substance that could have been found other than alcohol and some gummies. As you may recall, a couple years ago, we had some gummies that were disposed of from the police exhibit room, and they were found by somebody at the dump site and sold. And then we saw where people who consumed those gummies had to be rushed to the hospital. So we found some of those gummies inside the room. Now, we're not saying at this time that the gummies caused death, but we're looking at every possibility. I know that today the post-mortem examination is going to be conducted by the National Forensic Services, and we are anxiously awaiting that result to see if they will be able to unearth anything to assist us in determining the cause of death. There is also a theory that they could have died from carbon monoxide. And so again, a test will be done hopefully today or tomorrow with the National Fire Service, who have the equipment to test the level of carbon monoxide in a building. And again, that should be done, like I said, either today or tomorrow. And we're hoping that will give us some insight. But we're at a stage where we cannot definitively say what the cause of death is. It's a tragic incident, certainly for us and the families of those young women. And I'm hoping that we will be able to arrive at a definitive cause of death. I can say that the police have also viewed the surveillance footages from the hotel that they were staying, and the surveillance footage showed that they went to the hotel room Thursday evening, and they were not seen leaving that room again, and nobody was seen going into the room. Based on what the pathologist said when he visited on Saturday evening, is that they could have been dead 20 hours prior. So that would take us back to Friday or Thursday that they eventually died.
We asked the Commissioner how widespread their investigation will be as it relates to the source of the gummies.
You search spots, people who may sell drugs and so on the street?
Well, those gummy bears are not produced in Belize, certainly. We will be doing our investigation to see if they brought those into the country with them. Perhaps it could be they brought it in. So there are certain things I have instructed the investigators to do so that we'll be able to verify if that came into the country with them.
Alcohol?
In terms of the alcohol, I'm not too certain as to the quantity, but some were found in the room.
What have your communications with the U.S. Embassy look like?
The U.S. Embassy has been very instrumental. They are active in investigation. Whatever information we get to share with them, we do understand the international implication and the right to the family to be able to know what's taking place through the embassy, and so we remain in direct communication with them, and in some instances they are on the grounds assisting with investigation and getting whatever information they need so that they can feed back to the family members.
In relation to the death of 56-year-old real estate magnate Boris Mansfield, who was assassinated at his home in Maya Beach, Placencia, the Commissioner says they are questioning a suspect.
The shooting death of Mr. Boris Mansfield, I think is his name, has all indications of a hit. He came into the country that same day. As you would know, that he has been in and out of the country following the death of Burham. And he was in his yard when seemingly he was approached by whoever the gunman or gunmen are, and he was shot once to the head, behind the neck. He succumbed to his injuries. At this time, we don't know much. Investigators are still busy trying to investigate around Mr. Mansfield, and as well as we have one person in custody who is of interest to us. And so we're also investigating around that individual. We're also looking at the business transactions that Mr. Mansfield may have with other individuals, with a view to see if we will be able to close in on a possible motive and perhaps suspect. So at this time we don't have much where that is concerned.
Are investigators aware of what seems to be or what is being reported elsewhere, that there are as many as 11 claims of civil nature brought against Mr. Mansfield for questionable business?
Well, we, as you know, we don't have control of civil issues. That's a matter that is filed directly to the court and not through the police. But yes, we have seen the discourse on social media where it is said that there are several claims before the court. So again, investigators have communicated with Mr. Mansfield's attorney, and today they are going to the court to see what are those claims that existed before the court and when those claims were going to be heard and against whom. So those again are part of things that investigators will be looking at as a part of the investigation.
He mentioned the police have detained. Was he also a person of interest in the murders of any one of these other gentlemen?
Yes, he was a person of interest in the murder of Borja.
Fraud issue, but could never get anyone to put their claims in writing. We asked the Minister of Natural Resources, Colonel Hyde, about any progress made in the wake of Borja's death when there was an initial call for the regulation of the real estate industry.
Our legal counsel in the ministry have worked really hard to come up with a draft legislation. They've completed that, I can tell you. I think it's a very impressive, comprehensive draft legislation. It's actually at the Attorney General's ministry for them to correct, revise, trash, add, give us directions. But I think it's a very impressive document. I think it will, going forward, once the AG finishes their comprehensive review of it, then it will go to full-fledged consultation. And once that's completed, then it goes to Parliament. But ultimately, once that is passed, it means that all those agents, all those real estate persons, those mortgage persons, those land consultants, all those people will have to get licensed, will have to be qualified in some shape or form. There's a criteria they're going to have to meet. There are certain courses they're going to have to take. There's a certain code of conduct they're going to have to follow. And if they don't follow that, then there are consequences to that. But I think that it's an impressive legislation, if I may say so myself. And ultimately, I think it will provide a level of regulation in the industry that has been missing for all these decades. And it will weed out a lot of the crooked folks that are in this business, that are operating almost lawlessly. I think it'll make a hell of a difference. But as I said, it's with the AG ministry, and hopefully that process can be completed soon, and the country can have a real estate legislation for the first time.
We asked if Mansfield had also sent the communication to the ministry regarding secret fraud, and if those allegations, along with those from Borgia, were being looked into.
It's really regrettable what has happened. I think any death in our country is one too many. I can tell you that the police and FIU are actively investigating those murders and the whole situation. I know because they've been in touch with the ministry, and the ministry has had to cooperate, has had to provide information, has had to give them the kind of access that's required to make the investigation continue. Like everyone else, we are hoping that arrests are made pretty soon. That's needed for us to move forward. But ultimately, it rests with the FIU and the police department, and they're actively investigating. So hopefully that comes to a head pretty soon.
Commissioner of Police Chester Williams was asked Friday if the work of the Belize Police Department stands to be severely impacted by any cutback in aid from the United States. He said that while the U.S. may be considered one of the largest sources of funding, there are other donors as well.
At this time, we're not feeling the effects of that. I'm not going to say that if it persists longer, we're not going to feel the effects of it, because we do get a sizable amount of donation through the U.S. Government, particularly through CARSI and INL. I am hoping that before we begin to feel the effects, that the ban or the relief is going to be lifted, and then we can proceed as we did before.
In the meantime, if those sources don't come on stream soon enough, what other avenues are the police department looking at to getting resources?
Well, we do have other sources of support. We do have the Taiwan government right next to the U.S. in terms of amount of support we get from them. We do have other organizations, like we have human rights organizations. We have IDB. We have IDB and no, INL is the U.S. Embassy. There's another bank. There's two banks, IDB and
CDB?
And not CDB.
No, that's IDB.
There's another one though that normally provides support for the police in different areas. So it depends on the project that we're pursuing, that we can go to different organizations for fundings. And I must say that these organizations have been extremely helpful to the police in helping us with resources that we may need to do our job.
And that brings us to the end of this morning news update. At this time, we take a small break. When we come back on the other side, well, conversation time within the WUB Belize Morning Vibes. You're listening to Creme Radio, you're watching XTV. We'll be right back.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Tuesday, 25th February 2025, and we want to welcome you to the start of the conversation, and you're invited to call in. The telephone number for you to call, 280-5848, and we want you to know that just feel like you're to call home when you're the call. We have our first call. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning, Mose. This is Sandra Coy. Did you follow the momentous situation that occurred at the United Nations yesterday?
Well, I didn't follow it. I read several articles on it and watched several news reports online on it and conversations about it. But I didn't look at the UN itself or a live of the UN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was your understanding of what transpired?
I know that there was a resolution on the.
There were two meetings: the General Assembly and the Security Council.
Okay, I don't have it down to that granular level, but my overall understanding is that there was a resolution, I believe it's related to the third year anniversary of the Russian invasion into Ukraine, and there was a resolution put forward that speaks to the Russian aggression and denouncing the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and that the United States voted against that resolution, and what has been pointed out in multiple U.S. media news platforms is that U.S. found itself in that vote along with what would be classically regarded as the rogue nations going against the rest of what would be considered the sane Western democratic kind of nations, that they found themselves. I think I read where they said we are the baddies now. That's what some U.S. Media organ was saying. We are now with the baddies.
Well, what happened has immense significance for Belize. United States presented a draft resolution in response, and that draft resolution nowhere mentions, refers to the fact. Let me start something with who started the war that has lasted 3 years? First of all, do you consider what is occurring between Ukraine and Russia to be just a mere conflict, or do you consider it to be a war?
Oh, it's a war.
It's a war.
It's a war.
Okay? The word war has been removed from the United States vocabulary, and the word conflict has been substituted. When you study the Belize-Guatemala matter, we have had the same kind of vocabulary change, right or wrong, Mose?
I like to be, well.
We've had claims, then it turned into differendum.
Okay.
You know, all kinds of nonsensical things to bring down the level of the temperature of the real problem. Well, so now we don't have a war, we have a conflict. And Russia is no longer the aggressor. Was it your understanding, as it was mine, that it's Russia who invaded Ukraine, or EU, who you understood to be the aggressor in this war? No?
I think most infants know the answer to that one, Ms. Corey.
Exactly. It's Russia. Now, if you don't want to believe that, any listener doesn't want to accept that and want to go along with America's new position Go to the historical record. When Ukraine won its independence from the Soviet Union at the beginning of the 90s, Ukraine had the third largest nuclear missile program in the world, inherited from the Russians. And Ukraine dismantled that totally, believing, subscribing to the concept of peace. That is written into their history. So they didn't have any nuclear, other than their nuclear reactors to provide energy. They didn't have any weapons to respond to Russia, but Russia is a nuclear power. So if Ukraine was the aggressor, don't you think she would have armed herself in advance mode and restored her nuclear capabilities to take on Russia? Don't you think she would have done that?
Ms. Corey, your question is rhetorical to me because what the American, well, I guess your argument is to the listeners and viewers. This
to help them to understand the truth.
Yes,
Go
ahead. What I would. So let me ask you this, because there is now a growing school of thought or a particular view of this thing now that counters that, not that it deals with what the Americans did yesterday or their vote, but that says that the real source of the Ukraine-Russia war is the United States, and that the United States, they are responsible. It was put forward by this career diplomat to the EU Parliament over the weekend, Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, where he says,
he's the economist.
Yeah, he's the economist, and he says the Americans essentially, provoked Russia, that they left Russia with no other choice because they violated the spirit of an understanding when it comes to NATO expansion, and that they did it, and that there are many people in America who felt, well, this is a great thing because we have got the Russians on the ground in a war. They're losing equipment, they're losing people, there are economic sanctions, and all we have to do is to pay a bill. We don't have to send anybody there. Ukrainians are the ones who are losing their lives, and so that is kind of like the complication in it all, that it's not as if though the US is completely a spectator to what has gone here. Like administrations have changed and whatnot, and Mr. Trump is in his own universe, but you cannot just completely throw away what the US foreign policy position and maneuverings have been doing over the last 20 to 25 years with NATO and Russia and Ukraine, though, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, no, but this is the but. Russia began her newest expansionist program immediately upon the breakup of the Soviet Union, long before Ukraine or any other European country, ex-member of the Soviet Union, was even contemplating NATO or the European Union for that. It started it immediately, and it has a 300 to 400 year history of attempting and doing everything to prey on Ukraine. That's not new. So I don't think you can, if you don't know the history when they tell you that, you will buy it.
Yeah.
Now, did America have she was up to her own mischief. So up to her own mischief. However, the Ukraine dismantled its defense capabilities totally. Totally. So if a country has dismantled its defense capabilities totally, will that country go looking for war more? That makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. And the U.S., I think the U.S. needs to be dealt with separate because we're dealing with Ukraine and Russia. So once you establish whether Ukraine intentionally decided I want to go to war with Russia, I don't see where in the record that decision can be found. Do you see anywhere in the record where that decision can be found?
No. So,
No.
So.
Okay. So go ahead.
So I think I just as I gave you what has been presented by Dr. Sachs, I have seen the counter which you essentially described to some extent in saying if you just look at it and you don't have a little bit of the backdrop, then that seems like a solid argument. But then when you understand that, I think the point made by somebody who was countering his position was that what Dr. Sachs fails to mention is that the countries who went into NATO that can be looked on as a violation of the expansion of NATO, that they went into NATO because they were afraid of Russian aggression, which they had already experienced during the Cold War. But
the Baltic states that start there.
So what I look at is that I don't know, they have the count at about 1 million dead and injured Ukrainians who have paid a huge price at the hands of Russian aggression. But you can't just say the resolution should really condemn Russian aggression and invasion and U.S. foreign policy and geopolitical mischief. Like, there are two factors that have created a scenario where so many people have died. Like, that's my view of it. And the implications are that these are white people and their lives were viewed as expendable. Twice the population of Belize has either been killed or injured in this war. If they look on those lives as expendable, and this is common to the theme that we've had in our conversations in this cover, that they view these people as expendables, then how you think they look on us? That to me is a huge, if they are able to say, listen, we don't care if last year we were concerned about Russian aggression, if it's in our interest in 2025, we will go with the Russians. I think somebody made this point yesterday that this policy, this foreign policy of Trump now is we are not going to be anchored with alliances or any commitment. We are just going to be based on what our priorities are at any given time. We want dance, that dance. We want hook up with that hook up. We are not into any faithful relationship either with nation states or ideology or values. We are dealing with what is what is convenient for us and what gives us the best advantage in our geopolitical outlook. That's kind of what you're looking at now.
Well, when they went into the Security Council, in the General Assembly, 50 nation states came together to propose alteration to the U.S. sponsored 93 voted, I think it's 93. The support was in the 90s. So it was a high support. And the U.S. draft resolution received 3 amendments. And then Russia submitted its own adjustments to the U.S. So you had 5. It goes to the Security Council, which I think I'm correct in saying that there are 15 members, aren't they? But there are a clique of permanent members and a clique of members that change, rotate. So, for example, Guyana is currently one of the members of the Security Council.
There are 7 permanent members, is it 7?
Yeah, 7 and then 8 they're rotating. And the same thing happened. But when it went to the vote, they voted on each amendment, dependent on the kind of amendment. Whether the amendment was going to effect a change, whether the amendment was an expansion. And so you then had the votes divided into yes, no, and abstain. And because then the voting on those sides took it then to the vote, the overall vote, where Russia, China, and the U.S. voted together. Bearing in mind that the draft resolution of the United States, so the amendment put forward by in that case of the Security Council, the European countries and their people supporting them, what they put forward was rejected. They didn't get enough votes. So then they voted only on the draft resolution. And the draft resolution moves does not recognize anywhere in it the principle enunciated in the United Nations Charter of non-aggression, non-annexation, and all that goes with supporting territorial integrity. So the draft resolution of the United States completely set aside territorial integrity and sovereignty, completely set it aside, supported by Russia and China. What that tells you, Mose? Why did that happen? Why did that triumvirate emerge? Supporting, not acceding to the concept of territorial integrity, sovereignty, or any of those matters that are contained in the Charter of the United Nations. Why that happened, Mose?
Because they love having the freedom to act in an aggressive manner. They want the freedom to not be, they don't want to be tied down.
Exactly. So what happened in that vote yesterday, the 3 powers who also have the veto set aside, literally set aside all the rules and regulations that have been developed since it's around 1648. The first treaty dealing with hemispheric sovereignty, territorial integrity is the Treaty of Westphalia. For the Europeans. That was not written for anybody else. But that is an inheritance now of all the countries because that is reflected in the United Nations Charter.
You're talking here about the 3 most powerful, influential countries on the planet.
What they created there yesterday, and what is tragic is that foolish yellow and black people actually supported it more. Actually supported it. The Guyanese woman got up and said that we mustn't worry about not having a perfect resolution, statement, plan, whatever. We mustn't worry about it. So perfection is not the goal. Then in this same speech, she said, we must make justice be at the center of it. I am paraphrasing her. Well, when you say you're going to have justice, demand justice, but you don't want a perfect, you know what is it a perfect?
How could that be
Because
Guyana's?
justice being at the center means it's got to be perfect.
How could that be Guyana's position when you
What you said, no?
How could that be Guyana's position when you consider the
Exactly, given Venezuela. Exactly, Mose. Then along comes Somalia. Somalia is the last country to tell the world for order because they have a society that has not been able to become ordered from about 30 years. But Ukraine provides most of the grain that Somalia ate at a rate that you and I don't pay when we buy from the US Move and Canada. Africa paid a rate to Ukraine way less than we paid on the Chicago Commodities Exchange or whatever it is, and they paid less. Then came Sierra Leone. He gave one long speech there all over the place telling us about peace. Because what, I don't know if that's what happened, but I don't think it's that. I think it's their vested interest.
Mm-hmm.
Guyana ain't going to do nothing that's going to get the U.S. angry because of their oil. Sierra Leone and Somalia and the other, I think it's 6 of them voted along with the 3. And either one off or one on. So what those silly black people and the other people and other people did most was vote for their own demise. Because right there in Rwanda, in Africa, what is happening in Ukraine is happening in Rwanda. Happening right there.
7,000 dead.
Exactly, Mose. Exactly. And no, when they ask Kagame, so do you? I don't know. He doesn't know where his shoes are.
And you won't,
he doesn't know.
And you will find very little coverage of what's going on there in the Western media.
Exactly.
So
now, believe that is at the ICJ that is dealing with an aggressor nation across its borders that is claiming over 50% of this country. Don't you see the significance of that for Belize, Mose?
it is, I think that is as clear as daylight, know that
Exactly. What happened? It is incredible. But it is credible because those 3 countries are all 3 claiming land. Isn't that right? The United States is seeking to expand into Canada, into Greenland, and I propose into Mexico. China is proposing to expand into Taiwan, the South China Sea, all of that. Then we have Russia. We know for sure she has an expansionist plan. So they are all prepared to support each other more in order that when they do their wrongdoing, nothing will be said. Do you realize what a serious world that has created? Nobody to be held to account.
In 20
kept arguing that word, Europeans, they said, you cannot make might right. You cannot be rewarding for annexation.
Well, in 24 hours, no, because when you and I spoke yesterday morning around the same time,
yes,
it was a different world.
I am telling you, it was prophetic.
even though we were saying that the world had changed, we had no idea that it would change even more within a couple of hours.
None. I didn't even know. I was this weekend I was taking up because I was unaware there was a general meeting.
So I think that I think you have pointed out the two most important aspects. One, of course, what it means and what the implications are, but also why subordination to mighty countries because of what they give you puts you in a position where when the time comes, you will have to drink poison for them. And I think that those countries that voted along with them, they essentially drank poison to maintain, as a gesture of loyalty to these nations.
Exactly. Given China's grand presence in Africa and Russia's grand presence in Africa, they actually signed their own death warrant, and a death warrant for their brother, sister, whatever name they want in this certain country, right there in what in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Look at what they're doing to them. So, believe it.
Before you
they want to believe this has no meaning, and our leaders will be happy to tell you that. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
What happened yesterday at the United Nations is monumental.
As I imagine you do, Ms. Corey, there are many other things you would want to be doing with your time on a Monday than trying to keep up with what's going on at the UN and what's going on with Washington, but you cannot ignore or put your head in the sand and pretend it's not going on and not. It's like if a category 5 is somewhere midway in the Caribbean Sea, the normal response of the average Belizean is to not go a day without knowing what's going on and what's the latest with it. It is that kind of, this is not what I want to be doing, but this is what I have to be doing because...
And you notice, Mose, I don't know, it is when Mr. Trump becomes, look at his target, rare earth minerals. Ukraine has not been dealing with mining that. Ukraine has been dealing largely with agriculture.
Before you go, Ms. Corey, before you go to Ms. Corey, I want to because you did engage me yesterday on a matter that's inside our news cycle, and I want to just get your thoughts because I don't know if Belizeans are aware because it's not been mentioned. The 3 young women who died, that news story has essentially been covered by major news outlets in the UK, in the United States, and in the Caribbean. Like I don't know if we understand that our people know exactly how the coverage that this has happened here, and for our authorities to understand that when you miss the news cycle, like if you are not able to bring forward conclusion and results within a certain period of time, the only coverage you will get from these international outlets is just the part that looks the ugliest. That is, that's all you get, and you're on the clock. And I've been reading the comments. For example, I read the comments from the article from the Daily Mail in the UK, and their response has been, I wasn't thinking, is that people are saying, listen, this sounds like fentanyl. That's what
I agree with that. That is my opinion. I never said it yesterday.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. They're saying this is fentanyl, and I'd say about 60%.
Hadn't you thought of it also?
I gave fentanyl no thought. They're saying I gave.
What you said just now, what?
I gave fentanyl no thought. That did not occur to me. But that's their view, and I said about 60% of the comments were that this is fentanyl, and then the rest were saying this is contaminated alcohol, what's it called? Methanol, that they say has been going on in Mexico, and that's what happened. So, but fentanyl is the leading suspicion in these comments in the international press.
And do you see the linkage with the Mexican
supply? They only see a similarity between what has happened, as we discussed yesterday, in Mexico. The point is that we kind of like, we are listening to the commissioner and understand you have to wait for the results to come out, whatever. But we don't know. I would have imagined that what you would do is to try to see how you can, and I know this is not the time because there's not that spirit of cooperation going on right now, but you would have to see how you can partner with outside assistance, because I don't know that we have the internal capacity to really track the gummies, the alcohol. Like right now we are just depending on what they're able to get out of the toxicology report. But what about tracing where things were?
Exactly,
like,
where it came from.
Yeah, so in my view, not for just to burn out the police, or burn out the investigation, burn out the police. It's just to say, listen, are you aware that the world is aware of what happened?
No, this matter.
So, I didn't know that.
We're under the radar. You see that's
because
the problem.
Because if there is somebody selling, we don't know. Did they get the gummies? Did they bring it with them? If somebody has contaminated stuff in San Pedro, this can happen again. Fentanyl is nothing to play with, and if somebody is boosting their products with that, that's a huge problem you have.
Exactly, Mose. Exactly. And you have to ask why. Something happened. I'm not saying that there is definitely, but there is a time frame. And this happened and coincides exactly with a process taking place between the United States and Mexico of, again, monumental proportions. They have declared the cartels, I think it's 4, because it's 5, no? And one of them is Salvadorian, but they mixed up the Salvadorian with the Mexicans. You're not too sure if they think that Marcus, which is a Mexican, or I'm not sure what they're thinking. But this thing not happened just like that. I can't see that it happened just like that, because as I said, my friend, I said, but nobody else, we don't know of any other death of this nature. Do you know of any other death of this nature that happened within the last 2 years or so?
In Belize? No, I don't know of any.
Exactly. So all of a sudden, that's happening in Belize that have an eerie similarity to the external scene. To external, like the 3 deaths that occurred in New York, Mose, where one was a lawyer, one I think was a social worker. The people were not connected to each other. The common link among them was a delivery man, delivery person. I'm going to say delivery person. That was the common link.
That was fentanyl as well, right?
Yes, it was fentanyl. Yes. So this is. I don't think I hesitated yesterday to make any proposal, to leave it to the authorities. But the authorities ought to be taking into serious consideration what is being said in the external world. If you can't live in a bubble and think that bubble not going to come to you. Especially when at that level. But we have that limit. And so that and now this thing at the United Nations, what I need, honesty. Anyway, no.
Thank you very much. We go to break. This is WB Wake Up with these morning vibes. We bring you 2 cents calm, sponsored by 4 Point Security. We take a break. We come back more on WB Wake Up with these morning vibes.
All right, you're watching WB. This is XTV, and got to say big respect to 4 Point Security to their nomination day, right? So for all the people that got on their shirt, I want to find out why and how you're not interested in nomination day. Let's go find out the people in 2 cents. Why you don't get ready for nomination day?
Well, because I explained to you, I'm not really that today. I got more work I going to get to.
Oh, all right. That's your 2 cents.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Why you don't jump that nomination?
I'm going in a few more this way for my crowd, not true.
All right.
I'll be there.
Ready for nomination day?
Because I just come from doctor.
All right.
Wait, this one on me.
2 cents question.
No, I don't got no.
All right. Why you don't got time your blue shirt?
I wear my blue band.
All right. Your blue shirt.
Because I don't want to vote this year.
All right. I hear 2 cents. Oh, yeah, question. You don't got no shirt. Huh? Why? Why?
Now listen, do you know how this party was started?
No, I don't know.
My grandmother, Molly, started this at 12. This is for so the country could get educated.
All right.
This party started in my grandmother's yard, 1279 Wilson Street. The first meeting was held here.
I got your shirt.
I don't got time for a shirt right now. Right now I got a shirt.
All right.
My shirt is small, but don't worry, I'm going to get a big one right now. What they say? Strike blue stamp on truck.
Who say question? You don't got your blue shirt here.
Huh?
You don't got your blue shirt.
Because I just reach, bro.
All right.
Well, I prepare for Mr. Mala, my boss.
All right. Your blue shirt.
I don't know blue nor red.
That's your 2 cents.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. The telephone number is 280-5848. Live conversation going on until 9 here on Creme Radio and XTV. I'm Mose, hosting today. And so one of the things that I felt was important to just put out there, you know, as one should have assumed that 3 young women dying in a hotel resort in San Pedro is not the kind of thing that's going to be ignored by the world. And again, but we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB. Krem, good morning. Hello.
Yes, sorry, my brother. Greetings, brother Mose. This is Ramadan X. I just want to bring it to your attention that you already heard in the news, also you connected with the news and international news too. And they announced that a Jewish group that has been running away from Canada into Mexico and Guatemala, 3 of those men have been apprehended in Belize, and I'm happy they did, because these Jewish mysterious sect, the responsible for child molestation and many other crimes that are attributed to them in those countries, in Canada, Mexico, and Guatemala. Now I heard they are in Belize, and some children have disappeared, and they are also with police Interpol looking for them. But I want to bring it to the attention, if you don't have it on your agenda yet, you know, and also the Belizean public to be alert. I announced it on the morning stew about 2 months ago that there was a big thing going on in Guatemala City with hundreds of children being abused, misused, sexually abused by this Jewish mysterious group that is not even recognized by the Jewish community in those countries. Other than that, take care, brother, and thanks again.
All right. Yes, thanks. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and we're guilty of not even recognizing, as Brother Ramadan called in to acknowledge. Actually, got a call from my father. Was questioning whether today was the anniversary of Malcolm X's assassination. Actually, it's the 21st of February, Chairman, but it is the 60th anniversary of the assassination of Malcolm X. So it would have been the 21st of February, which in fact would have been, I believe, I think that would have been over the weekend. Back to the matter of the 3 young women who died in the hotel to San Pedro. Because of the implications, again, we are heavily dependent on the tourism dollar. It's the primary source of foreign currency, US dollar, and so we understand the implications there. And saying, well, you know, we don't suspect that they were injured, just to show you how the international press goes. Like one of those publications in the US said, okay, these 3 people died, we don't know how they died, but we just want to remind you that there is an advisory against traveling to Belize. It's not safe and all of that. So you're here, oh, there's no foul play, everything is good, this is some kind of thing with, you know, that happened to them. The foreign press is not, they want to bring in the negative. That works for them. Hey, so we know that there are implications. It's definitely a negative incident in that regard. But beyond that, it's not as if though you can say, well, as you know, one publication says, well, you know, there was a drug overdose. They were partying, and Belize police is saying that it was a drug overdose. That's what's being reported in the UK. Listen, it would be quite a thing for you to have a scenario where 3 people died as a result of drug overdose at the same time. So even you could think about some of the roughest drugs that exist, you know, for them to almost die as if though, from the description that was in the news, where they seem to have died almost simultaneously. You know, somebody's in the bathroom, somebody's in the bed, and somebody is around the dining table. It's almost like they were touched by the Grim Reaper, bam, 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 and that's it. It's like nobody had time to go and look at anybody that might not have been doing well, like where they go out with you, or you in your bed, I in the bathroom, and I go on the dining table. Again, this is according to the police report. It's important for us to understand that whatever it is the cause, is something that is extremely potent. It's not like, oh, this was a gradual, I'm going to feel well, then call the doctor or call in a family member. Like, there was no call to a family member. These people are from Boston, I believe, or somewhere around there in the United States. And their families have created GoFundMe pages and all of that. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on online with them outside. There's somebody picnic. And people will love them. And they pick in corner Belize and travel here, and that will happen. 3 friends having a good time, and they die at the same time. Nobody had the opportunity to say, see the next one dead, and oh my goodness, something to go on here, and try and make one call or send out a text message. Like, even the people who died on the plane that collided, that crashed recently in the United States, sent out messages like just before the plane crashed and all of that. I think a similar thing happened with the plane that crashed in Korea. Like, they had no time or opportunity between when trouble hit and when they died, it would appear. Krem, good morning, WB. Good morning, brother.
Really kind of disturbed, man, because, what would happen, instead of people in a lifestyle living a democracy, how they guys want to show nomination? They don't think that's very, very obvious, man. It's obvious. You know, say you deal with the people, and you try to work with grassroots people in a court judge or anything that you don't show for nomination. You don't think they're wrong, man. It's not what they think they really show your biasness in a high places. You know? And end of the day, I found a rating a big buck. You know, and I would have never ever, my carried mine and myself vote to Mr. Samuel because I didn't see the man. You know?
All right. I don't think we have to go the road. I think your point is made, brother. That listen, not.
I'm going to give up the car name, but start of the day, by the way, what you because
I understand.
I understand. The opportunity
it's
to represent the people.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that you're got a whole lot of things to go on. Everybody in the Belize knows there's a whole lot of things going on within the opposition party, the United Democratic Party, and the way that's fractured.
Yes.
And that's one thing. I feel like it's I feel that it is a great offense to have it ever happen, to ever have an election day where there is no choice. To have it in one constituency or to have it overall. Whatever your feelings are about in politics, whatever your feelings are about the respective parties, that's not my conversation. The conversation is that what is the bottom line result is that the people of 2 constituencies have had their opportunity to choose. Even if you say, well, the chances that you would win, or the chances, it doesn't matter. Is that the people in these constituencies have been deprived of an opportunity to even say, I don't want to vote. Listen, that is a vote. You vote for not go vote. They won't have. There will be no polling stations in those constituencies on March 12th, if that is when the election will actually turn on, barring any, the court says no, that doesn't happen, but the election is set for March 12th. March 12th, the people in those constituencies will not have a polling station to go to, because those results have been determined not by the people in those constituencies. And so this is it is one thing for there to be turmoil within the opposition party. It's not the first opposition party, it's not the first time for this party to have internal turmoil. I feel that they have a responsibility to come forward and to, this is a next level. It's never happened before, at least to the best of my knowledge. To my knowledge, and for me, fundamentally, there is something very unpleasant. I don't care where you're feeling. We don't talk about blue and red thing on WUB. We don't spend all that's been going on in your position. I don't have the bandwidth for weighing upon what is going on in our internal party. That has not been something discussed here. But this that has happened, right? This that has happened, we need to know, well, you know, what really, how do you end up with the people of these constituencies being deprived of having an actual election day? Because that's what they have been deprived of. They do not have an election day. There will be no election day for the people in those constituencies. It doesn't matter who they were going to vote for, or if they would not have voted. The fact is that they have been denied that right, because ultimately, listen, they could have, whatever happened, if you're pulling out, you don't want to go, you do it in a way that you give your people a chance to say, even if they want to put, just take somebody off on the street and say, when I put your name, just go, or whatever. So many people have said in the past, you know, a political party puts you know, the way how you go with people loyalty to blue and red. If they put one pit bull to run, he and give votes. Either way, it would mean that the people in those constituencies would have that opportunity to either go and say, we are vote for the pit bull, or we don't vote none at all, but you would actually have an election day. I think that is a historic collapse that has, and the people of those constituencies have paid a huge price for that collapse, and there is no denying it. So we're not forgetting. I feel that the people involved ought to come and explain what happened.
They have to explain to
They have to explain what happened.
Because we don't know, we are animals. We are human beings, so we have.
They have a right. Listen. They have a right to say they don't want to run again. They have a right to change their minds. They have a right to say, "Yo, I'm done with this. This is bad. Whatever." But they should do it in a. They should have done it in a way that does not deny the people of those constituencies an opportunity on what we call our election day. Again, There's a lot wrong with our politics. There's a lot wrong with our democracy. But there is something particularly unpleasant about having winners of an election be announced without the people having a chance to weigh in, even if that result was inevitable anyway, or the chances that any other result would have happened is extremely low. It doesn't matter. It's not whether or not you know who may win or not win. The fact is that
make the process go through.
That process has been prevented, and I find it to be extremely unpleasant.
Unpleasant. The really hurt me, Mr. But like that, we live in a belief, we live in a this country.
We didn't call it no Bolido tongue, no?
Don't say it like that, man. We're gonna better word for it now, man.
We're gonna better monopoly, right, brother.
Respect, Mr.
Yeah. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Brother Mose, I had to call. Thanks for accepting the call.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where they talk about another on television, TV Ghanaian, man.
All right.
Yeah. But, man, I want to tell you, I believe I'm kind of here on these when people stop downstairs and I listen about this elections and etc. I tell myself, my mind gone right there and then. I said to myself, man, the state of Belize, what we call in the heart of the Caribbean nations, man, to me, no, is and will continue facing and forcing us on reality, to me. Because, for me, only when elections nearing, my friend, will us witness attention of various sorts. You want lumber to fix your house. You want cement to fix the steps. Whichever on an election day, I will give you a treat for real. You see, man, I will keep until the last day I die. Until the good last said, Torres, enough is enough, come home. Well, I got any place to resort up here, that's because I not do bad to nobody. With all the bad.
You actually Brother Torres, you actually express confidence in your thereafter. Boy, you're brave for sure. Torres, thanks for the call. I gotta go to break. We'll be back. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. All right, welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde here inside Wake Up Belize. We've got a call online. Prem, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning to all the listeners out there. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be on our show for the station that I always said to listen to in the morning because of the openness and transparency in what the topic that we discuss now. This is the Dynamic Union, former president of the Public Service Union. And as you may know or may not know, I've been a public officer for over 42 years and a member of the staff in the Hyde department for over 20 years. So I want to start off by saying that in no way is this having anything to do with politics, right? I'm someone who is too fond of politics. But the actual reason for my call is because I was traveled by both Minister Usher and no less than the Prime Minister in the last house meeting now. My name is Sal. So I want to request of them with all due respect, with all due respect in the voice of Will Smith, keep my name out of your mouth, right? Because what they said about me was total lie. I did not write any letter for the leader of the opposition because if I would have included the fact that the Ministry of the Public Service is fully aware, right, of the fact that three of us in the most senior persons in the office of hearing about it, all of us with master's degrees and collectively over 8 years of experience, 8 years, have been unjustifiably instructed by both Mrs. Rodriguez and Mr. Fuller not to do any work since October of 2022. Right? But the difference was we were instructed to submit weekly reports every Friday indicating what we did for the week. After you tell me not to do anything else, I was supposed to for me to tell you what I did for that week. What caused us to lose time in doing nothing, but also what we needed to report on, right? And also what we have scheduled to do for the following week. So after you tell me not to do anything, you have a report for me to tell you what I did for that week, what I did, and I was starting to lose time in doing nothing, and what I plan to do the following week. So of course, when those categories we have to put them not applicable, because you told me not to do anything. But it just works like that, no? For those of you out there who are familiar with the public service or administration, you may be asking them, well, what about our appraisal? Right? If they instructed us not to do any work whatsoever since 2022, well, the way that the appraisal is supposed to work is that officers are graded based on how well they assign tasks for a time, not based on the job description that the officer is supposed to do, right? It's based on what you tasked me to do and how well I did that. Therefore, it would be reasonable for anyone to think that since you were instructed in writing, and you have copies of these emails, I made sure that I got copies of, I got both these instructions in writing. So you were instructed in writing not to do any work, and you did that perfectly well over the years. We should have received 10 out of 10 on our appraisal, right? Because that's what you instructed me to do. But not in this case. All three of us received zero out of 10 for every category except communication and punctuality. But listen, it gets worse than that. Now listen to this. The grading scale, which is actually on the appraisal form itself, and this speaks to the person who is doing the appraisal. It's not the head of the department instructing us not to do, instructing them to tell us not to do any work. The appraisal is from the supervisor, the person who is based in charge of you, which would be in my case, Mrs. Rodriguez, right? She gave us zero out of 10. But the appraisal form has on it that the scale scale is from 1 to 10. So how in the world you can give me something that's not even
Sorry for laugh, but
what does that say about a person?
sorry
What does that say about a person?
laugh, but that one is funny. So the scale say 1 to 10.
Yeah, 0%.
I know you usually got it. I know you.
I don't know anything about any of the topics or any of the categories. Zero.
Boy, oh boy. You didn't even give a point for your attendance. Whoa, okay.
Yeah. And like I said, it has nothing to do with the head of department, but it's strictly from the supervisor. Strictly the supervisor is great because the second reporting officer who then be the head of the department will have an opportunity to put in reading if they don't agree with whatever grade comes from that first reporting officer. You understand? That's how the grade appraiser works. So it has nothing to do with instructions from the head of the department. That's your grade that you gave me, 0 out of 10. When the appraiser then starts at 1. Anyway, prior to that, Mrs. Rodriguez gave me 4, 3, 2, and even 1 out of 10 on previous reports. As they put me under in her section as my supervisor, I went from being an A student or an A worker to being an S. Now I'm with a Z because now I'm not at the point where I open. So basically, she maliciously used the performance appraisal system of a weapon. They weaponized it against us. Right? Which speaks to the fact, for me then, my opinion, that your integrity is then questionable. Right? Because you're using this thing to attack me. But anyway, this is the individual who has now become our Auditor General. As I said, the Ministry of the Public Service is fully aware of all of this, but I'm over people listening to me right now. The Ministry of the Public Service is aware of all of this and has done absolutely nothing. If I had written that thing for the leader for opposition, these are some of the things that he would have said. He didn't say anything. So I didn't say anything. But anyway, we actually have the audio recording when this same topic was brought up with the Minister of the Public Service. In fact, they were the ones who called us into a meeting, and we had a meeting in July of 2023. Right? And right now we have several performance appraisal reports that are still pending, that they haven't even filled out for us. So we are way behind in terms of the salary that we're supposed to get. So we met the Minister of the Public Service in July of 2023, and in that meeting, instead of the ministry, we put the reason why the justification coming from the art department was extremely flat, right? And instead of the ministry now taking up the matter with the art department, they actually turned around and tried to force us to sign a document that was basically illegal. These things didn't come out with the leader of opposition, right? So anyway, they can't do it, right? But out. So we report and we have the audio recording to support all of this that we're doing. We are auditors. We are into everything, right? So anyway, each of us have a recording of that meeting, but to protect us against what we suspect will be attacked eventually down the road, because they don't like when you come out with the truth, right?
So essentially, Brother Gerald, you're saying here that the division within the audit department, it continues. There are still sides of this significant division that's been going on. You have the members of the audit department along with yourself who have been essentially ostracized, and you're saying that remains the status quo within the audit department.
Yes. It's not as bad as it once was, because what happened is that a lot of people exit visited the department in all time and fashion. Right? Some of them didn't even return to the office, especially those who made up.
So you are like one of the last, you're one of the last men standing.
Yes, but we are the back of the past zone. Of my father was here, right? So the new ones that.
So let me ask you this, because I didn't hear it, but you're saying that your name came up because they were discussing the matter that was being discussed is the qualifications of the person who was chosen to be the Auditor General, which came out of the department, and there was other things that were said about because we were here when this was going on. It's unfortunate that you did not call. You say you listened to the show, so you might be aware that we had several conversations about just the whole, just how, in my view, shameful it is that we're here without a plan for who would be the Auditor General, even after having the opportunity, after the bringing back the past Auditor General. They had to bring her back. I think that we know that the PSU objected to. But even after getting that, even after buying time, when that time was up, we were basically being told the same thing again. And so obviously there's no succession plan, and then we are told that nobody is applying because of Haas dead Kofa. So that the salary for the position is not enough to attract people. And one of the things we said, Brother Jarrell, is because I feel that it's a common sense position to have, that if you are the deputy sheriff, if something happens to the sheriff, if somebody has reached the rank of being the deputy, that person should possess the essential qualifications to be the head. I think that is a fair expectation to have. Even in I mentioned a couple of times that even in beauty pageants, the first runner-up is often said, well, if something happens to the reigning queen, then the first runner-up won't take the position, because it's not that the first runner-up is not worthy, is that, well, this person may better than. But if this person is not there, this person is able to substitute. So isn't it then, how does somebody become the deputy if they were not deemed to have the qualifications that could make them the head?
Well, that's a very deep question, and that's a statement for possibly a dangerous weapon.
All right, fair enough. But do you understand from the outside, that's a logical assessment of the reality, no?
Yes, of course. But maybe I can answer.
So why did you feel that you would not have applied, or why do you think that people have not applied? And so what are your thoughts on that then?
Yeah, well, the thing is that for me personally, I didn't apply, not so much because I wasn't qualified, right? In fact, I received my genuine master's degree from the University of the West Indies in 2016, right? And I'm so proud of it that I have a copy of it on my phone, right? So I could easily share that with you, and in fact, I think I even played.
No, I know a question whether you. I know a question.
I'm saying that there were three qualifications were questioned in the House. My qualifications came up. I think I recall the leader of the opposition was questioned about, I think it was his primary school or high school, or I don't know, but one of his qualifications. And Mrs. Rodriguez's qualifications in terms of a master's degree, I believe, was questioned.
All right.
I posted about my master's degree with a copy of my certificate. I think I saw something from the leader, but there's nothing that was evidence, from Mrs. Rodriguez. No one has provided any proof. Right? So, but anyway, like I said, I can answer your question in the reverse order using myself because it's safer for me to do it that way. Right? I got my master's, as I said to you, in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
If I had gotten my master's in 2016 and she got her master's in 2019, then how in the world could she have been taught me so much that I am now examiner of accounts, which is like two or three levels down, and she became the deputy. I senior her.
When did she?
10 years in the public service.
When did she become the deputy?
Over 7 years in the office itself.
When did she become the deputy?
So what other criteria was used in determining who got promoted? I still have not gotten a promotion from 2016. I got a master's degree and no promotion. It took me 6 years, Brother Mose and listeners, 6 years, and a threat to take the Ministry of the Public Service to court for them to pay me the 2 measly increments. But by regulation, that's supposed to have been automatic. I had to fight 6 years, and this is not under PUP. This started under UDP. It was 2016. Right? It was from 2016. But the thing is that unfortunately we are in Belize. We are in a group of very endangered individuals called objective thinkers. And objective thinkers, unfortunately, are not too welcomed into this society. We get attacked from both sides. Because I'm not political. My family, yes, is my uncles were UDP ministers and so on, but that does not speak to me. Right? Not because they are automatically means that I am. Right? UDP or some of my friends are UDP or PUP. And Leslie used to visit our house and he didn't pass on the highway and didn't stop for me. Right?
No, but I don't want you to have to that's so. Yeah, I understand, but I understand, but Henry, the concern then is we are talking here about, and you know that we've had very difficult conversations around this issue because, and I have, I've said similar to Brother Dean when he's been here, where we have to navigate the fact that both yourself and Brother Dean have had very critical views of the past Auditor General, and a lot of what I understand out of our department comes out of conversations that I had with the past Auditor General, as well as the fact that you have shared a lot with me over the years. My understanding of what's been going. It's a painful, difficult thing when you have respect for both sides of a deep quarrel. You know that kind of way. And and this is not the first time I've publicly said this. I've not called your name, but I have referred to the fact that I am constantly, I have constant communication with the other side of this equation that feel very strongly about the way they've been handled by the Auditor General, the past Auditor General. Now, I guess what the implications are for your average public officer when you have somebody that, one, has the level of experience that you have, qualifications, and you have served in the capacity of no less as the president of the Public Service Union. So you are somebody that understands the environment. You understand the wiring of the environment, which at times is a little bit complex for somebody that has never been in the public service, has not been a part of the bureaucracy like that, to understand how it's supposed to work, and yet you found yourself essentially completely victimized. You can't describe it any other way. If the scale of 1 to 10 and you again 0, and you've gone to court, you've tried to challenge these things. It's a very nasty situation, especially when you factor in the importance of the audit department. And it's not to say that any department is not, that all departments are not important, but the audit department is the audit department, brother. That they will make sure that the money right.
Yeah, and actually it's worse than that I said that I'm not a book, but we have here an audit persons who were less than 5 years in the public service with bachelor's degree. I was over 25 years at the time with a master's degree, but gave that supervisor, and I say that as a candidate.
So they are over you?
I'm above them in every respect. I have more qualifications, I have more years of experience in the public service, more years of experience by far in the audit department. I'm even taller than them. I don't know what criteria was used. My brother. Those criteria are specific in the regulation, so how? That's what I'm saying, that in terms of how this individual reached to the specific position, I do not know. I can tell you that I have been superseded several times. And it's ridiculous because people who are less than 5 years with less degree. When I went to the Minister of the Public Service, what President Choko told me? He said, and the minimum requirement is a bachelor's degree. So you're looking for a bachelor's degree, but if you don't have that, but you happen to have a master's, we will take that too. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's what no one is not to do that in their private business. I know the administration said that they want to run the public service a bit more like the private sector, but they would never hire someone with a lesser degree on their job. One of what they hire a degree, so, and the regulations are specific. Why would you have a bachelor's degree when you have someone who has a master's? This person has to go. Along with the years of experience.
So finally, before I wrap, Brother Henry, so somebody out there might say, why have you stayed? Because it's like a saying where ladies always say, where bones are not served, dogs are not invited. So you not seem like you have been welcomed, you're wanted, you've been treated with such disrespect and playing out unfairness. Why have you remained there? Like, why have you remained there in the face of the disrespect, the unfairness, and everything else?
Right. And yeah, that question touches me deeply, and the reason is that because I love art department.
Right.
I literally love this place, right? I love what we do, and I love the fact that we make an impact, or we can or we should be making a positive impact for this country. And it hurts me, but I'm only hurts me deeply that for the past 16 years, despite the fact that you don't know, because you're not the fish at the bottom of the river, but you don't know, and one of these days maybe we'll meet up and I can show you every day, right? Because like I said, we are articles, we deal with evidence, we just haven't been able to speak face to face. But for the past 16 years, we have been dysfunctional there. I think we have more vulnerability from the place because we have been doing absolutely nothing. you know what that is doing? Entering on a spreadsheet, yes or no, with a master's degree, and I still fail my first time.
Fail it with a zero.
Yes, I was just entering it, and no on a spreadsheet, that's what they have me doing.
Yeah.
But people don't know how they're gonna know. People don't know. They are great in, and I have to be careful, but let me just make sure that I mention something here for the move. Well, because I know that the president of PSU has said that public officers are not allowed to speak to the media, right? But, well, actually it's not true, right? Section 64 of the Public Service Regulation speaks to public officers and the media, and just give me 1 second to know, let me go through first so that it was identified what I'm doing right now, right? And we'll probably continue to do because the truth has to come out. So, the public officer shall not, this is Section 64, a public officer shall not edit newspapers or take part in the management of newspapers, but I'm not doing that. B, without the permission of the chief executive officer or of the department, contribute to any newspaper, not doing that. Public officer may contribute to any newspaper, on subjects of general interest. A public officer, whether on duty or on leave, shall not allow himself to be interviewed on matters affecting the defense or military resources of the leave. I'm not saying anything about those things. A public officer shall secure prior clearance from the chief executive officer or of department to make statements to the press regarding public policy. Public policy. We're not discussing public policy, we're discussing my personal grievances. A public officer shall not respond to questions of public policy in a matter that could reasonably be construed as criticism of government and which may fall into question his ability to impartially implement, administer, or advise on government policy. Right? Again, no policy is being discussed here. Where a public officer is called upon to respond to the media or participate in interviews on public policy, he shall provide only factual information for explanation and clarification. I have evidence of every single thing I'm saying to you right now. Every single thing. I have a whole treasure chest. And I don't keep it at home.
Well, at least I don't think they want to give you
everything. So they call me out, I'm out. And if they continue, because I suspect that an attack will be coming. I saw something yesterday that I wanted now to be the first stage of it. I know they already have the gun. Long time they have the gun, right? I'm trying my best not to give them the bullet, so I'm making sure that I'm well within the public service regulation when it comes to engaging with the media. I'm not speaking about public policy, and I'm not speaking about anything having to do with defense or military aspect of police. None of that.
Brother Gerald Henry, I thank you for sharing with us your plight. Obviously, there's a lot more that you can't even get to touch on, but I think you've given us the broad outlines of what has been going on, and I feel that anybody that faults you for standing up for yourself, they are not worthy of their opinions being considered any at all. If my qualifications is called up in the House of Representatives, man, even if the regulations, they may try tie my hands, I may have to step forward and raise my voice and make sure that people understand. You know, I have to stand up for myself. I got to. So I respect that, and I know that the matter is not solved. It has not been solved for a long time.
And so basically, I have to drive all the way from Belize to Bangiga every day to come to this office and sit here and do absolutely nothing for the past since 2022. Right? And so far, the people of Belize have paid the three of us, let me see, I have the figure right here, over $378,000 to do absolutely nothing. And that bothers me a lot because we are out of department. We are supposed to make sure that we get value for money. And these things are things that we would have reported on if we are funded. happening in another department. But yes, it is happening here.
No fault of yours, no?
No fault of mine. I want to work. I wish I tried to work for some of the things, but I've been seeing over the years. People have come in touch with me to ask me to please go in with evidence, but people committing fraudulent activities and so on. I couldn't move because I can't assign myself work. It doesn't work like that.
Brother, give thanks for the call. I got to go to break. Respect.
Okay, brother, take care.
We go to break. We'll be back.
In Belize, we value our families.
8:47 Belize. This is the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. The last track to the last verse for today, Tuesday, the 25th February 2025. The telephone number is 280-5848. Ramadan, I do have to say that, you know, I had to check in on that story. I missed that story about this, the Belize police actually capturing fugitives from sexual assault children charges in Guatemala. Apparently these are people who are Jewish people who are operating within. So yeah, that story is extremely legitimate. Krem, good morning, WB.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling because I need your help in addressing an income tax situation for me. I am trying to figure out why somebody from income tax can't come out and speak to the people and explain to us why we can't get back our income tax money, especially for people that are not even in the income tax bracket. I have a situation where, and I'm literally talking about a little money, I'm talking about somewhere between $50 to $75. For 2 years now, I am not even in the income tax bracket. And I am one of these people that are adamant about my money. I work for it, I want my money, give me my money. 2 years now, can't get back my income tax money. I call them, I go there. Now income tax has a new word, reconciliation. Oh, we haven't reconciled, your job haven't reconciled, this one haven't reconciled. So I'm saying to them, when you take my money, I'm not even in the income tax bracket. Why would you take my money, then take 2 years now to give me back? And I know people that have bigger problems than mine little petulance, you know, so to speak. But why is it that we can't get back our income tax money on time? What are they not working? Are they lazy? Are they incompetent? Is it the government that is refusing us to give us? What is happening there that people can't get back their money that they have already worked so hard for? Why does it have to be a runaround? And I tell you honestly, if I have to call back, I'm going to call me because I know people in the income tax department that they are others that go and pay them a little something and they work on their documents quick, and they get back their money. So why is it that you're going to push us around the small ones that need our money? So I would really appreciate it if you, like way of your radio station, could extend an invitation to the income tax department to have someone there in authority come and explain to the Belizean people why is it a problem for us to get back our tax refunds. Thank you both.
Yeah, no matter how small the money, your money. We've had the folks from the Belize Tax Service here multiple times. We've asked them about this. People have actually called in on matters like this, wanting the tax refunds, tax returns. We know that you still have people, if we bring them on today, they will tell you about this problem, but for sure we could get them on again. They've been willing in the past to come and discuss it. Krem, good morning, WB.
Good evening, police. Just a quick comment. There's a story that was sent to me by 3 different people because I'm not on Facebook of a parent complaining of her child being bullied at school, not only by children but by the administration. And I have a picture I seen your child asking, what's wrong with my child here? So the administration said in court, the no, don't accept those here, end quote. And clearly that the problem child of color as a black child and was raised to the front part right there and the back part right there out. And I bring the story because I didn't want to be an escape on it to say to the Ministry of Education that the Bad Educational Foundation is willing to stick with the Ministry of Education to create for a national year policy after telling no. From January I submit for process permit. You know what I in February I don't get the process permit yet. I'll call back again today and the reason why they hold back on the process permit that because we have changed the location from the District Education Center on Mohammed Street headquarters on the North Front Street, and then we changed the day from Wednesday to Tuesday, intentionally so when the tourists are there, so we could bring more attention to this matter. I know the response I get is that the concern is because of the tourists, we want to open the tourists, and we would have stopped the publication by proposing. So anyway, no, call back this morning and I wanted to step, I just want to know that there's some live issue when it comes to the discrimination of the Legion students' right to education and right to self-expression, where they care for whatever they want. How many people want this?
Give thanks, sister. We will take a final break and come back. All right, we are done for today. With help and strength, we surface tomorrow morning for the Wednesday morning edition of WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It doesn't happen without the team behind the scene. Larry G, second flat, Creme Studio, third floor giant, Cliff Lewis, and director Alex Ibilai. Have yourselves a great Tuesday. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!